padam mantramulam gururvakyam mokshamulam guroh kripa. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Gita Maharani ki jai. Hari Om. We are discussing Bhagavad Gita, second chapter and 47th sloka. Yesterday we were discussing Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturuhu ma te sangastu akarmani. So we were discussing about karma. What is karma? And what is adhikar, your right, and what is the result of your action. And then we have to see what is akarma and how you get attached to something. Mate sangaha tu akarmani. May they are not let thy attachment be to inaction. What is inaction? All these we should understand thoroughly. Yesterday we were discussing on the karma. Today I have got some definitions of karma. Yesterday we were discussing karma means action. Action is not only done by the body and senses or by the mind or intellect or ego or prana. They all get together and then only some action is possible. One is dependent on the other. And really speaking, the whole world is cooperated in a triangular basis. We were discussing about three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamas, and this karma also is performed by triangular force. The whole world is on the triangular basis. Triangular cooperative society. Everybody is dependent on the other and cooperatively they act and then something is possible. There is no singular entity who can do any action. Further we go ahead and we shall see in karma how karma yoga, how the karma is being done by the nature. In many places Lord Krishna has pointed out this particular karma. Karma is done by the nature. Nature means qualitative. The three qualities we have discussed, when the three qualities get imbalanced, there is some imbalanced state, then only it is known as nature or the supreme power and by that only the whole creation is created. So this knowledge power, creative power, and the power of will, that is very important to understand what is willpower. The whole creation starts by one desire, that is willpower. Ekoham bahushyama, I am one, let me be many. Just as one body is seen in many parts only, there is no body in any particular point in the body which can be called only body, not other parts. All the parts together known as body. The whole universe is like that. So, this karma is done by a cooperative society, that is nature, and nature does everything by the help of imbalancing the three qualities. If it is balanced, then there is no action possible. So, we can just understand the meaning of karma. Karma, according to my simple language, it is movement. Movement is karma, and no movement is no karma. It is absolute truth. When movement started, I am one, let me be many, that change starts, nature starts working, imbalancing state starts working, and then everything starts. So karma means simple movement, and that in 5 ways. Utkshepan, to scatter out of, scatter up. Avakshepan, and scattering out down also. That means in all directions. That means movement. Scattering out. That is called also expression. When the one starts expressing itself, it has to express in many ways. Akhanda mandalakaram. In all directions, it starts expressing itself. And according to the modern scientific view and our ancient Vedic view, the sound is the root cause of all these creations. So sound means vibration, that means also imbalanced state. So, utkshepan, avakshepan, akunchan and prasaran, attraction and repulsion. From scientific view also, this is how things happen. That's how the third force also is created, physics law. And gaman, movement. So in these 5 ways, karma is understood, action is understood. So in one word we can say action means movement, disturbance. And that is understood as the continuous changing phenomena. That is called nature. If it is standstill, it is neither the nature, nor the creation, nor action, nor mind, nor action and reaction, nor cause and effect. Nothing happens if a balanced state is there. That imbalanced state is known as karma. So, physically, as individual beings, when the mind works, when the seed starts prompting out, expressing out itself, then the potency to germinate starts, and then it germinates. That is expressing itself in many forms. So that is known as the seed, and in individual beings it is known as the subconscious mind, the chitta. Chitta is storehouse of all the impressions or memories since time immemorial. Nobody knows when it started. And we are aware of it. Without that chitta, nothing can happen. And the moment it starts vibrating and expressing itself, so naturally the pairs opposites start, and movement starts, and changing phenomena starts. So what happens? There is always doubt. When two are there will be always doubt, and one will be dependent on the other. That is called relationship and relativity. The law of relativity starts from there. So what happens? The ego starts. What is called ego? Flittering chitta is called ego. Whether this is right or that is right. So it goes on in this way, dwelling in both, oscillating in both. That is also doubtful. Always doubts are generated by this. What is right? How is what? So in this way, ego starts working. It is neither this nor that. So always ego goes on changing. It is not the steadiness of the chitta, but it is the restlessness of the chitta. That is the root cause of action, and it expresses itself as I, with some identity I, and I becomes the doer, the performer of the action. And it goes on changing. It never is constant. So, who is the real doer? Nobody knows who is the doer, but we claim I am the doer, wrongly. And this is how the nature does all the actions. Prakritehe kriyamanani gunehi karmani sarvasaha. We shall see it afterwards. The nature does every actions, everything, and by the help of imbalancing these three states, three qualities. In this way, karma is understood. Now something we have understood on karma. Now, karmani eva adhikarahate. You have got the right. Adhikar means not only right. Right is, of course, is a term which has got manifold meaning. Right. Yesterday we have discussed little on right, human right, individual rights, family rights, social rights, religious rights, so many rights. And those rights, see, adhikar is understood as this: superintendency to superintend something, that is called right. Adhikar. Adhikar. In Sanskrit it is not only right, it has got all these meanings. It is used in different ways, in different references, different context. Watching over, watchmanship, that is right to have look upon. Duty, that duty also is a very complicated word. I always trace upon the meaning of the words you must understand, and when you go to the depth of the meaning of the words, you reach somewhere else. Superficial meanings are different than the deeper meaning. We use one word in different context, in different ways, at different times, at different situations. That's why in grammar we have punctuations. Whereas the idea of use of the word is not understood rightly. So duty is also is known as right. Charge, you have been charged to do something, that is your right. Power, you are empowered to do something. So the nature has empowered you as a whole totality of a group. The chitta, ahankar, intellect, mind, senses and prana, they get together, they are empowered to do something. So that is your right. Right. Post of authority, you are authorized to do this. That is called right. Governing body, government is called right. Adhikar. Government has also some rights. Adhikar. Administration, administrating, governing, same thing. Jurisdictions, you have your limit. Of course you are empowered to do something, that is your right, but your right has got a limit. Don't forget it. When you do some karma, it has got boundaries. You cannot go beyond your limit. Rule, that is also right. The rules should be followed. And privilege, and claim, you can claim your right. This is to be done. Right of ownership, When you are authorized to do something, you have your ownership on that. Possession. I possess my body, I have got right on my body. Adhikar. And prerogative. Title also. When you are entitled to do something, that is called your right, your adhikar. You have to be entitled. Who are you that you claim your right? So if you are entitled, certified, or you have been entitled to do this, then you can claim your right. And mastery also. In this way, adhikar is understood. You have been entitled to do something. And yesterday we were discussing on the example of a student. When a student is admitted in a class, he is entitled to go through the course, and that is his right. He cannot go through other courses, other textbooks of other classes. It has got limit also. He is authorized to go through these textbooks. So in this way, you have got your right to perform your duty. Of course, now this is fixed. You can do your duty. And what is duty? Duty also changes. Karma we have seen. So karma means it is changing phenomena. So it will change. So how to understand what is our duty? What is our karma? That is also another complication. Of course, we have authority on our karma. But what is karma? How do you perform it? Who performs the karma? When? How? What way you have to perform your karma? That also to be known. And you have got authority, you have got right on your karma, of course. But what about the result of it? You have got no right. That does not mean you are not going to get it. If you are persuaded by the results of it, you may perform your duty in a better way. So karma, so the glory of the result is always on your front. Your idealism, your hope, your goal should not be forgotten. That's how the result, of course, is glorified before you to up and do in your karmas. You should perform your karma well. But don't forget, you have no right on the result, but you will get it, be sure. If you are the doer, you are going to enjoy the result. Of course, we shall discuss whether you should be the doer, having your ego of doership, or not. That is different point. But if you are the doer, you are bound to get the result. Avasyam eva bhoktavyam subha subha karma phalam. You are bound to get the result, whether it is painful or pleasurous. You are bound to get it. But you have no right over it. Don't forget it. You cannot claim it. The examiners know how much marks they will secure for you. You have no right. So in this way, Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna, understanding your situation. Don't think of the consequence of the actions you are going to perform. Because Arjuna was thinking ahead. What will happen to the society if this battle is going to be fought? Isn't it? The consequence will be unbearable for the society. We shall cause a great damage to the harmonious society. That was told by Arjuna. So, Lord Krishna is pointing out that particular point. Don't think of the consequence. Think of your duty, what to be done at present at this situation. So now another problem stands by. What is that? If I don't have to think of the result, why should I do my duty? That also should not be your motive. You should not be motivated towards not doing anything. Why? Ma tu sangastu akarmani. Ma te sangastu akarmani. Don't be attached to non-doing, inaction. Because don't forget, you cannot keep quiet. You are subject to nature. And all the actions are done by the nature through the help of instruments as your body, senses, mind, etc. So you cannot keep quiet. So please understand, if you cannot keep quiet, you are bound to do something or other, then what should be done? All these points to be understood clearly, then only you can tread a right path. That is what Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna. He says, thy right is to work only, but never with the fruits. Let not the fruits of action be thy motive, nor let thy attachment be to inaction. Don't be lazy. That is inertia. that is tamas. He has previously warned, O Arjuna, get up and be established in sattva. Inertia is not your goal. You have to be sattvic and niryoga kshema atmavan. You have to be established on the self, and you should not worry about acquiring something or preserving it or protecting it. That should not be your motive. And that's how he is warning, don't be lethargic. Don't be attached, don't have attachment for inertia. Let me sleep. Why should I work then? When you perform actions, have no desire. Actions have no desire for the fruits thereof under any circumstances. If you thirst for the fruits of your actions, you will have to take birth again and again to enjoy them. Actions done with expectation of fruits, rewards, brings bondage. This point also we have to see how we are in the cycle of birth and death. The theory of karma, how karma pushes us into this cycle of birth and death. That is also little discussed beforehand, and we shall see it afterwards also. Lord Krishna has given everything in detail. Matras parsastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkadaha agama painam nityam anityam tam tidiksha svabharata. He has given some hints beforehand. And afterwards also we shall discuss it in a elaborate way. When the prana throbs, vibrates, the waves created in the brain cells, a part of the body, they are called thought waves. And they, because they are waves, they are not steady. They have to move on. So, wherever they get some ways out, the body is the limited platform where inside the body the thoughts are created. And it has to go out because it is a changing phenomena. So, the thoughts have to go out according to its nature and through the passages wherever it gets. So, a particular type of thoughts, when they go through the gateway eyes, they are associated with the object called forms outside the body. They have to be attached, they have to be associated with the forms because they are of that nature. And when the thought waves go out through the gateway of ears, then they have to be associated with the sound only. In this way, 5 tanmatras, Roop, Ras, the taste, Gandh, the smell through the nose, and the touch through the skin, and the sound through the ears. In this way, 5 types of thought waves, they go out of the body and they get associated with 5 kinds of objects, and after getting associated, they have to come back because they are obstructed by the objects. So they have to come back. That is the law of nature. When your way is obstructed, you have to divert. So they have to come back to the source. And whatever informations they bring, that is called impression or it is called memories. And that we know as the informative knowledge, informations. It is not complete because they touch मात्रा स्पर्शस to गौंदेव. मात्रा स्पर्श करता है. It touches the object and comes back. It doesn't become one with the object. That's how whatever information it brings back, it is haphazard, only superficial. So, we get the haphazard informations back and it is deposited in the storehouse that is called the chitta, the subconscious mind, and it is known as the storehouse of the seeds. These are called seeds. Why it is called seed? Because just as the seed has its tendency to multiply, it cannot remain as one, it has to become many. All the objects in this creation is prompted. It has got a tendency, inherent tendency to grow, to multiply, to become many. That's how the creation goes on. So, these impressions as seed form, in the seed form, though they are collected in a place, the subtlemost part of the mind, we call it chitta, there it is accumulated, but with the tendency to multiply whenever the favorable conditions are available. So they cannot keep quiet. Just as the seeds, whenever they get the favorable conditions, they have to germinate and grow more, multiply. That is the nature's law. So, your impressions are collected in the chitta, subconscious mind, and they are ready, ever ready to multiply. This is known as karmic theory. And whatever impressions you collect every moment, because all over 5 gates, the thoughts are working throughout. So how much impressions you collect, and every impression is ready to multiply. They have to. So you must have that much conditions to work out it. So can you understand how much time and conditions you need to multiply all those? And they grow in geometrical ratio. So it is endless. So for that, some instrument is required. They have to be multiplied through by some process. So body becomes the total accumulation of many objects as a body, 5 elements, and all these. This works as a body. When you move out, you want your legs or your cycle or bike or some vehicle to move out. If nothing is there, you use your legs. Some instrument you need to go out. So in this way, these instruments are called bodies. So again and again you need bodies. So endlessly you are fallen into the cycle of birth and death. And whatever is exercised in this body, it is not enough. And so much more is waiting to activate. So they cannot keep quiet unless the whole system is destroyed altogether. That is how it is said in the path of wisdom. They say, Jnanagni dagdha karmani. All these impressions, karma means also these impressions. They are the seeds. Unless and until your storehouse of the seeds is destroyed completely, you have to become a farmer, cultivate forever and ever. You cannot rest, you cannot keep quiet. So for that, your field is required, field, body is known as field also, where we sow the seeds of impressions and the result is karmas and karma phalas we repeat. And this is how we are fallen into this cycle of world, birth and deaths. Endlessly, nobody can help you, my dear. So Lord Krishna is warning you, Arjuna, be careful. What are you going to do? If you do not thirst for them, you get a purification of heart. That is, purificatory process means oneness. Pure means one. No adulteration, no mixture. So purity, when you get purity of the mind or your whole system, that means you advance towards oneness, and that helps you to enter into meditation and samadhi and then go beyond, and then you can attain the final state of realization of the self. And when the heart is purified means it has come to a standstill position, oneness, balanced state. And through the knowledge of the self, you will be freed from the round of births and deaths. Neither let thy attachment be towards inaction, thinking, what is the use of doing actions when I cannot get any reward from it? That also should not be your motive. In a broad sense, karma means action. It also means a duty which one has to perform according to his caste or station of life, according to the followers of the karma kanda of the Vedas, having the desire to gain the results. Karma means the rituals and sacrifices prescribed in the Vedas. It has a deep meaning also. It signifies the destiny or the storehouse of tendencies, that is chitta, what I was telling, of a man which gives rise to his future births. Understood now clearly how we are attracted towards the cycle of birth and death. Karma kanda, karma leads you to this cycle. Be careful. Have no desires, have purity of your heart, and perform your duty without expectation of result of it. Don't keep quiet also, and don't claim your right on the fruits of actions. Be non-doer, but do. Having no doership, you have to do the job. Okay, tomorrow we shall see further. Thank you, Hari Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। कृष्ण भगवान की जय। गीता माता की जय।